dangerous, so keep going.
On March 15th, 2019, New Zealand was shocked out of its sense of security when 51 people were shot dead in Christchurch's 2 mosques, with a further 40 wounded. Running for his life, despite a bullet in his leg, Mustafa Bostas came across a boy lying on the ground.
It was someone I didn't know. He was lying down there, his eyes open, and I just couldn't run away. I had to stop. I did stop. And he had a phone in his hand, and I believe it was his mum, and I talked to the lady on the phone and said, please come to the mosque, and there's shooting happening.
10 minutes later, an armed defender found him on the ground, unable to stand.
He wrapped up my leg, and he was there the whole time with me. Our police officer and armed defenders got me up on their shoulders and dragged me to the ambulance.
I've got shot 2 times, and I was in the Al-Nur Mosque, and I got shot in my bum, and both bullets went through my right leg, and it damaged my bones in the middle here. So it was a big gap here.
Led out of Christchurch, the police response around the country was unprecedented. For some, the attacks cut particularly deeply.
Obviously, as a Muslim, as a police leader, I think there was a really big national operation going on. My role as a district commander was to make sure our mosques and places of worship for our Muslims in our community were safe. So that meant sending armed police straight to those places immediately after the incident. We didn't know how many offenders were at large. We didn't know there was a potential for any sort of copycat type incidents.
As New Zealand and the world braced themselves for what could happen next, anxious families in Christchurch feared the worst.
I was hopeful that Husna was alive. So police officers, they brought me out, just outside the police cordon. I was trying to call here, there, different places, if anyone had seen Husna. I got the telephone call from a detective, and he said to me that, Farid, my friend, this is me. You know me. I know your wife. We know each other for long. And I'm asking you, don't wait here any longer. Go home. That moment was the hardest moment. I felt like the whole sky has fallen on me.
I keep asking anybody who saw him and someone who recognized him. Because, like, if he's alive, he will be sent to the hospital. And also because he's wearing school uniform, and the school uniform has the names. So it will be easy to identify him. But I know that no, he's not alive anymore. Yeah.
9 people were killed at the other mosque 7 kilometres away on Linwood Avenue.
I'd just come back from lunch and a lady came in about 2 o'clock, breaking news, shooting at a mosque. And of course, that wouldn't be Christchurch. Where's the mosque? Christchurch. How could that be? It didn't occur to me at that time that there was more than one mosque. To be honest, it just hadn't been on my radar. It's not that I didn't actively know, it's just I'd never thought about it. I sent her a text saying, "Are you okay, Mum?" It was distressing because I tried every single way I could to communicate but I didn't know my mum's friends. So whereas before I knew all of her friends, I only knew one friend. But he knew nothing and I knew nothing, so I turned up at the hospital. And there's no information, and they tell me to go home. I keep coming in, being told, no, we'll tell you something if there's something to tell you. Go home. Never did. It was reported in the New Zealand Herald before I'd been told.
A Friday is a very blessed day for us, for Islam. It happened in a mosque, and it happened, so before, when Muslims, when we pray, we wash ourselves. So the fact that he died on a blessed day, on a Friday, in a mosque, before doing prayer or whilst doing prayer, I don't know, it's a healing for us. It's a sense of comfort that he is in the highest degree of heaven.
Once I heard that Husna was gone, I was making plan. My head was working. That probably so many people will feel angry, especially Muslims, if they hear that, so many of their fellow Muslims were killed. Maybe if they see me, how calm I am, not angry, and just describing the story, maybe that way a calm message will go. Maybe I can give something good to the world. So I decided to be strong, but it was hurting me inside. So I came home and I was waiting for my daughter to come. She came and she asked me, where was Mom? It was very hard. Yeah, I told her mom was with God.
Hussein is my big brother. He's a big tease. He's a very bubbly kind of person. The T-shirt that I was wearing the night before, which had the words, "See you, bye," and that was on the 14th of March when he told me, "Oh, I like your T-shirt," and I said, "Okay, thank you." He just kept nagging me about my T-shirt. "I like your T-shirt, I like your T-shirt." Nothing thought of it until the night of the 15th of March when I came back from hospital and my T-shirt was laying on the chair and it had the words, "See you, bye." And it was such a teasing way of saying that, like it made me laugh at the same time.
The next 12 months will be challenging as those affected start to deal with their grief and trauma, both mentally and emotionally. For the bullet wounded, their healing journey starts with the physical.
And then I stayed 2 months and 1 day in hospital recovering, and I learned how to walk with a crutch, which lifting up my right leg, not using it at all. Then I got discharged. According to the doctor, if I'm right, around 20% or 25% of the bullet fragments is still around here in my body, which that is not able to come out. They said it is difficult to take it out. Since day one, the pain is still the same. Nowadays, I notice that at night while I'm sleeping, lying down, it's the pain, it's sharp pain coming up, so it's hard for me to sleep. So I do take painkillers, but still that painkiller is not killing it a lot. So it's still way to go, I think. Yeah.
So the first injury was for a gunshot to my leg and traveled to my liver. So I still have a shrapnel inside me. And the other one was my hand when I broke the window. So I cut through tendons. And the other one was when I was trying to climb over the concrete wall. I pulled my shoulder. Yeah.
Right now I have to get my posture right, everything right, to be able to build the muscle back, to be able to support my shoulder injury.
Before the shooting, I was able to bench press about 110 kgs, and now I barely can do 60. Before I used to do about 170, 180 squats for a couple of reps. But now I can't even go under the squat rack because of the gunshot on my leg.
Fareed knows all about physical rehab. 22 years ago, 4 years after his marriage, he was hit by a drunk driver. He spent 2 weeks in a coma in Christchurch Hospital with Husna by his side.
She was told that my death chance was 93%.
And a strong possibility of amnesia if he did survive.
But when I came out, I was mentally, emotionally, I was quite fine. And by then, physically, I was a paraplegic. Then I went to the Barod Hospital for retraining myself on the wheelchair. So it was not easy, very hard. I went through depression after my accident. I used to think of dying, but I could not commit suicide because it is against my faith. So I decided to restart my homeopathic course from Barod Hospital bed. So that gave me peace of mind, and I focused on something positive.
Together, Fareed and Husna reacted with compassion for the driver.
We forgave him. Husna and I both, we were feeling sorry for him. We were not angry with him.
They moved to Christchurch, worked hard, and prayed for a child.
After my accident, we almost lost all hope. And so, having a child was extremely joyful, very precious. So, Shifa, myself, and Husna, right from the beginning, we had a great bond. From our team, one is gone, but still two of us, we are very close bonded.
Angela had also been a tight team with her mother growing up.
My mum and I were actually really close all my life. A solo mum, only child. She grew up in Auckland, just a regular middle class Pākehā woman, but she was always pushing boundaries. She was a hippie, she was a punk. Even religion-wise, she explored Christianity for a time, Baha'i when we were in Golden Bay. She never really did anything by halves. I'd call her a kick-ass feminist, which is partly why at first it did surprise us a bit from our own perception of what Islam through media. When she converted, probably, to be honest, took us a couple of years to get our head round the change. Although in hindsight, how much of a change? I think it was a perceived change. She tried to tell us she hadn't, but my mind wasn't open.
10 years after her mother converted, Angela's finding out why.
And I guess I've put myself on a bit of a crash course in better understanding where Mum was coming from. And I get it now. A little bit late, but I get it now. I can totally see how she found peace and how happy she was, and just wish I'd listened.
Just a direction. The direction, the Qibla.
Ah, okay.
Because we'll see wherever.
Steep learning curve. Just really sorry that she's not there for me to ask all these questions of. Now I've discovered so many of her friends, now from the last 10 years, and that's actually been incredible. That's probably what's got me through, is being able to, I think it's healing for me and healing for them, to be able to talk to each other and so that I can better understand where she was coming from.
For many others, a trip to Mecca to perform Hajj in the city where their prophets lived offers a possible turning point.
The Prophet Muhammad used to walk in that place, and he was born there, grew up there, and then he walked there.
I'm going there remembering my son because it's our plan actually. We were talking about that before he passed away, that we wanted to go this year. He wanted to accompany me.
But plans had to change, and Naraini is going with her other son, Shweb, instead.
Yeah, I think she's gonna she's gonna come back, feeling like it's a really good thing here, a really good experience.
With slightly mixed feelings.
Like, I've never been anywhere close to Saudi, so I'm kind of nervous because it's really far away. Yeah, it's quite nerve-wracking. Well, like, one of my friends is already there, and I'm hoping we'll have a good time with each other, yeah.
The Saudi king paid for 200 of those most affected by the mosque attacks to travel to Mecca for the Hajj. Invited with them to provide support for the women is District Commander Superintendent Naila Hassan.
The Hajj is a spiritual pilgrimage. It's something that if you are able to afford it and you are well enough in a healthy state, then you should do it once in your lifetime.
When we were there, it's just different feeling. It's amazing feeling we had. I don't say it stopped. The pain stopped. I don't think so. But we forgot all those things.
All the men change into white robes called ihram.
It's 2 pieces of towel with no seams, and that is worn because it shows no status. So you could have the richest prince in the world and the poorest person in the world, and they're both dressed the same.
For Shweb and Amir, it marks the start of their journey.
I put it on in Dubai. You put it on in Dubai, right? Yeah, we put it on in Dubai before the plane.
This felt sort of like relaxed, you know? I don't know, in a way I sort of felt like I fit in like Dubai airport because everyone else looked the same.
Being part of a Muslim-only crowd is a new experience for them.
In New Zealand, the majority of the time we spend with non-Muslim people. School, non-Muslim. Most of our friends are non-Muslim. But like here, the entire time we're with Muslims. So like, we're constantly subconscious about Allah being here, and like, so we're constantly being good.
Amir's dad, Imran Khan, was killed in the Linwood Mosque.
A good man, very successful, very busy all the time. I don't know how he managed to do stuff because...
Yeah, how many businesses did he own?
3 businesses, 2 companies. For like the past 6 years, I wasn't really close. I was close, but not as close as like me and my mum. But I think over the year, because I traveled with him recently a lot, I sort of just got real close with him. And then we're like starting to bond more and like play sports together. Always happy, making jokes. Yeah, that's about it. Also, cricket. He loved cricket. Yeah. I believe that I'm here to perform Hajj on behalf of him. I just like to keep my dad in my thoughts while I do it.
The Hajj dates back centuries. Today, around 2 million Muslims follow in the footsteps of the prophets at a very specific time of year.
Hajj is a series of rituals you do over a number of days. One part of Hajj is actually you walk 7 times around the Kaaba, which is the black box, essentially, that every Muslim prays to every day.
That is the place that we go daily, and it's so crowded. But with healing, it was really good. And that house been there how many 100 years and years. And all our generation Muslims been going there for every year.
Doing the Umrah ritual also involves the Kaaba, and it's often done just before the Hajj.
At each starting point of the Umrah, I had a picture of my brother, and so I would take a picture like, right, this is the starting point of this is the middle, it's the end, just so I can communicate that back to my family as well. to share the journey that I was in. Hussein loved walking, so when I did my one, I did it on the ground floor, and so going around the Kaaba would take like 10 minutes, but the crowd was just pushed me up one floor, second floor, and the rooftop, and so the circumference of the rooftop. So when you do the round at the rooftop, it takes a lot, like 3 times as much as when you do it at the bottom. And I was just thinking, oh, it's totally Hussein's doing as well. That he's totally telling me this is, if I would have done it, I would have done it that way as well, and made me do a long walk. But yeah, it was really healing. I felt a lot of tranquility after I completed it.
Every ritual of the Hajj carries its own meaning, but some have special significance.
One of the probably the most significant parts of doing Hajj is going to this place called Mount Arafah. And they say if it rains there, it is so spiritually significant. It was unbelievable. We were in Arafah and there was a massive, massive thunderstorm and downpour. And it was the most surreal feeling you can ever be part of. The most sacred place in the world for Muslims, the most significant day in the whole of Hajj, and the most significant event to happen on that significant day in Hajj happened. So to line up all that was incredible.
It was a powerful antidote to the traumatic events of March 15th, and curiously symbolic of the pilgrimage itself.
Your memory will be washed out with a healing process, with the situation we had. Big tragedy, it was bad memory we had, bad picture we had. It's washed out, most of it. We humans, you can't relate it. But the Hajj program, it did help us a lot with that.
Back in Christchurch, Fareed copes with his grief in other ways.
In my teaching, I always put the positive side. So it has become part of me. Sometimes I cry and I think it is healthy. But that cry does not stop me doing my work. If it did, then I was depressed. It is just my attraction, my love for her, that makes me swell up sometimes. I cry, I release the pressure, I move on. I will never probably be out of grief, but I have somehow, I have got some ability to carry it. As far as Husna is concerned, I don't have to worry that, how she is, because the faith is in assuring me she's okay, she's in good hands.
Honestly, up until what happened, I never thought about death. Well, I would never thought of losing my brother at 14. I thought I'd be spending my entire life with him, right? Because he's younger than me.
And you would never think of him passing that way?
Yeah, never. Not once. And so now I'm a whole lot more conscious about what I'm doing and stuff like that. Because when you're not conscious, you just do things, and I guess now my mum's going through whole bunch of stuff, and I can't be mad at her really.
For Naraini, doing the Hajj with Schwab brings an extra blessing.
I realized that going to this Hajj is not only about my spiritual connection to Allah. It's really mean a lot that I'm going to be connected with my son, traveling with him. So I'm glad that he comes with me. Yeah.
The Hajis all have a symbolic haircut, whether it's a lock or an all-over trim.
Guys, do you reckon shorter?
Yeah, to 1.
I feel really proud of him, actually. Yeah, I'm really proud of him.
With the Hajj behind him, Mustafa knows his mental health needs work, as well as the physical.
It's not the injury, it's the mental tiredness. I know my body can do it, but my brain says no. It's just, I feel tired mentally. A lot of things changed. First couple of weeks, I was a bit really sensitive. I was just getting angry real easy. I was not in a good headspace, but fast track to 4 months later, I feel much greater and I feel much more calm and really focused with my life. I'm not letting this get me down.
He finds peace through his faith and is getting professional help.
Praying to God. Because when you're praying, you leave all that in the praying mat and you just pray to God. And I'm seeing a counsellor. He was a really nice lady and she helps me quite a bit to talk openly about my thoughts in my brain. So yeah, me talking about it to my family, friends, and it has helped me a lot.
That the 15th of March left its mark is no surprise to his friend, Johnny Oldham, who drove up from Dunedin to see him as soon as news broke.
And then I just left work straight away and went to drive up there and seen him after surgery and bought him a rice ball. He seemed pretty shaken up, I suppose, eh? Like, yeah, I suppose he's seen some pretty out there stuff.
There's plenty of chicken, eh?
He's been friends with Johnny since they clicked back in their school days.
Ordered me like 12 kg.
12 kg?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, that's sweet. We're in quite a few classes together, and that's how we met. Yeah, we spent a bit of time together, I suppose. Yeah, it's probably... Yeah, we used to train a lot. Yeah, just having barbecues and stuff like that, just chilling together, really, yeah. See what we want the stuff is that nice zigzag pattern. See how the chicken's nice and snug? Put more chicken on there. That's good, mate. Right, it's called the zip pattern right there.
They've learnt a lot from each other.
Yeah, I think I was around 16, I think. The staff invited me to the mosque, and I was like, oh, I've never done anything like that before, you know? I used to be quite I didn't really associate with sort of different people, I suppose. But I know, like, meeting Mustafa, he took me to the mosque, and I started talking to people that I wouldn't usually talk to. And it sort of made me realise in a way, you know, like, it's just good to talk to everyone. Everyone's the same, you know, they all have the same feelings and they like the same stuff. And, you know, getting along with as many people as you can, I think, is a real good thing.
In our culture, the chef eats last. Am I right, Rashid?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't the chef, I was assistant chef. You were the inspector.
At the time of the attacks, Mustafa was studying engineering in Christchurch. But his plans have changed.
When I was lying down on the hospital bed, I was thinking really, really hard. Whether I want to go back to study or change my career. And what happened in Christchurch gave me an extra motivation to serve my community.
And he decided to apply for the police back in his hometown of Dunedin.
I reckon he'll be a good cop. If he gets in, he'll be a good cop. Just because he's quite fair, I reckon.
Home from the Hajj, 6 months after the attacks, Ahmed's last surgery was to reconstruct his thigh bone.
I have full bone, but the metal, the rod, the 45 centimeters, still there because the bone that they replaced is not strong as it was, because it's a big gap. So for me to work in future, that metal has to stay there forever.
28-year-old Ahmed Yesuf immigrated to New Zealand to finish his schooling 12 years ago. He then went straight into a part-time cleaning job, as well as working his way up the ladder in a full-time job on a mushroom farm.
I grown up from harvester to a team leader, from team leading to a coordinator. So I had very good chance to be grown up in that position, and I was in charge of many people, roughly 200 plus people I was looking after.
Samira and Ahmed were married back in Ethiopia 3 years ago.
So I was able to provide, to have my own family. I had a happy life in the past.
A few months before the attacks, Samira took over his part-time cleaning job.
So she can work and she can help me. So we still getting similar money. So I was in good direction. But after the attack, she left her job because she had to look after me. Of course, she doesn't get ACC. She doesn't get benefit. So I'm only ACC, and I'm living with this house in New Zealand.
ACC have given him a 1-year plan aimed at getting him fit for work.
With my physical, with a plan of 1 year to be rehabilitation, it's good hope, 1 year, but to me it is hard to believe in 1 year I'll be normal.
Aya found the Hajj helped make her grief more manageable.
After I came back, it felt like I had left a bit of grief behind. It felt more like, not so much closure, but it's a journey that needed to happen to move forward. Finding the new things to do without Hussein being there.
But her mother's grief took her home to Iraq.
She'd wake up every morning crying, missing Hussein. So it was good for her to go to the family. She needs a healing process, just as I did with Hajj as well.
Aya's perspective on life has shifted.
What's important is your family time, your family interaction. And what's also important is how we saw New Zealand react, the love that came out, to like all the bullets that was left behind. We, the people of New Zealand, we left flowers behind. And that is something that we need to carry through. And I looked behind me and I couldn't see any greenery. I could only see carpet of people. And that, just looking behind me, I was like, I've got the support. We didn't care what religion it was, what color we are. We didn't care about any of that. What we saw is people losing their lives, and that's how everybody came. We became human again. You saw an atheist, a rabbi, a sheikh, a priest, all standing side by side. People from all different cultures, races and colors. And so to see that I have become an advocate for this is the fact that we can coexist.
For days after the attacks, flowers and messages flowed into both mosques from around the world and from every corner of New Zealand. Many will be preserved.
That's stunning. Look at the heart.
But some are too damaged.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of the paper's been damaged, got a bit of mould. They can't really use that in a museum. So that might get paper mache'd down. There's this neat group called Seeds of Love, and that's actually something I'd like to be part of.
Yeah. So that's got wildflowers, which represent the beauty of diversity. That's right. Yeah. So for this to grow, it has to be nurtured. You've got to keep watering it. You've got to give it sun. Yeah. Just like unity, we need to keep nurturing things.
That's a great idea.
There's lots of paper to do it with. So.
There is a bit. They've actually put that in there.
That is so beautiful.
I think that's
and
really
that's
neat.
what to me was important, that, you know, like somebody took some time to do that and they really thought about, you know, what they were doing and what it meant.
Oh, wow.
That's beautiful.
Sisters of Mercy. That's from our Christians to our Muslim brothers and sisters. It's just a nice little simple piece of paper that's come from someone's book, and these, I think, almost my favourite. Sayad, we love you.
His mum would want to see that.
Social worker Rebecca Parnham started making Seeds of Love with her children, and the workshops grew from there.
So the whole thinking is when you plant the seeded hearts, all that love is still there, and it's about keeping it going.
Children handed those out.
You know, because it's just too easy for people to go back to everyday life.
To drift away.
It actually struck me when I read the front, and I just thought it was a beautiful, simple message that this only makes us stronger and that we're going to stick together. And so that, to me, I thought was beautiful. And then when I opened it and I saw your son's name,
We are together. This only makes us stronger. Kia kaha Christchurch. Sayad, we love you.
After the Hajj, Norayani found things are getting worse before hopefully they get better.
And I didn't cry as much as I cry now. In fact, like every day compared to the first few days, because I received a lot of supports and I feel so much strength with that. I really hope that until now and when this is shown that people are still praying to all of us, the mothers or the wives or to whoever, like give us strength, because we need the strength. We need their praying. Yeah.
Norayani's local marae is hosting a commemorative event for Sayad's whānau and friends.
The Maori group invited us just for the honor of Sayad, because he's one of the people who lives in this area, and we are part of this Littleton community. And the Maoris wants the Muslim youth to be part of the group who will be attending with the other Littleton youth as well. I personally agreed to attend is because when it happens, I found out the non-Muslim community, they are really very supportive.
It's a chance for everyone to relax and enjoy some time together. And the boys to hang out as they get back into life after the Hajj.
It's like when we went there and then we came back, it's a totally different environment and everything. So like, for me, when we did the tawaf, which is the walking around the Kaaba with all the people, like you could feel a sort of like calmness, like with everyone just going around. Like that's what I felt when I was there.
It's like, it looks really crazy and like packed there when everyone's doing tawaf, but it's pretty calm. It's a different feeling. But it didn't last very long though. I just sort of, like, when I go back home, it lasts about like a week.
We come straight back into school and I had my exam, so I wouldn't say it was calm. Definitely wasn't calm.
Praying at the mosque every Friday is part of Muslim life, but Schwab and Amir now choose where they sit carefully.
When I went to prayers last week, it's not the same. It's still not the same. Like, it's definitely not. I'm not like, I can listen to the talk without like thinking of other things, but like I don't sit where I used to sit with like my brother and stuff. I sit like in the corner by the door because I'm thinking of what would happen if someone did come. I just don't feel like it's like, I don't want that to happen to me, so I don't want to be sitting right in the middle.
Yeah, when I go in, like, the thought that goes to my head is I don't want to be stuck in the hallway. Like, I shouldn't have to be thinking about this, but I always try and go into like the separate room with that door. I guess you just feel safer there.
Still, things are slowly improving.
I'm still having trouble going to school every day because like just lacking like motivation and energy to just turn up to school. But like I'm doing better, definitely doing better, yeah.
Come in, please.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice to see you. Hey. How are you?
Raf Manji's been meeting with those most affected by the mosque attacks.
Good? Yeah. Lovely to see you.
to get an understanding of what their ongoing needs are. In his role as independent advisor and victim advocate,
it's important to realise this has been designated as a terrorist attack. So the alleged attacker did not single out these individuals in terms of who they were individually. This was an attack on this community. People die every day in New Zealand, and they will all suffer these impacts of grief, of economic loss. But again, it's a different act. That's really, it's not a car crash. It's not a natural disaster. It's not a tourist bus crashing. It's a matter of national security, and that's the lens that we have to view this through. So the government ultimately is responsible for making good on that. It is about restitution. It is about compensation, because ultimately they're responsible because it's a national security failure. They can't pull back from this. They have to see this thing through. But I think if you take a victim-centred approach, you have a much better chance of good long-term outcomes.
Ahmed's Uncle Peter flew in from Ethiopia to help him as he recovers.
Having my uncle here was a good idea and very good for me to support me at home, because he does talk to me a lot of things, positivity. He talked to me about a lot of stories about back home, about our family members, and just those things that put me in good mood. My wife, when she's cooking, Inaya, my daughter, she's a bit annoying. She go in the kitchen, and so it was very difficult for me to hold her or to play with her. And as I cannot sit on the ground, as just not comfortable for me. So my uncle was they're getting along very well. She likes him a lot. I wanted him to stay in New Zealand. He wanted to as well, but the visa was for 3 months, and the immigration sending us email saying that he has to go back. So I did not argue with immigration to fight back, because first of all, I just want to appreciate that he was here for 3 months to see us. But now, it's just gonna be me and my wife, and I'm gonna be useless to help her, so I don't want to imagine that, but unfortunately he has to leave the country. So it is hard.
Mustafa's goal of joining the police helps to keep him motivated. For now, he's focusing on his rehab with the physical abilities test in mind. He's working closely with his physio.
Even just letting the shoulder hang in that immobile position in the hospital for a while can really slow down your rehab and prevent all those muscles from kicking back on like they normally would. The doctor said that shrapnel's been reabsorbed, hasn't it? Yep, so we're on the healing journey, we're on the process. And how much do you have to run for the test, Mustafa?
2.4 kilometers.
2.4 Ks, yeah. And that's hard to do with a bullet in your hip, as you should know.
Is that my phone ringing?
Yep.
Oh yeah, can I answer? And do you need a Mosque? There was a threat. They arrested 2 people.
Oh, shit.
Tamam, ben gazeteye bakayım bir. Tamam, hadi kapat. Tamam. 1 second. My sister just called me to say don't go to mosque. There has been a bomb threat.
Was that in Dunedin?
Just Dunedin. I'm just gonna have a quick look. Let me call the... 1 second, bro.
Yeah, no, you take as much time as you need, man.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Good. Did you hear about what's happening? About a bomb threat or something?
There's no police incident around the mosque. There was only one earlier this morning in the Countdown car park, but that's been all sorted. There was just a person bringing in, an item which they thought it might be a bomb, but turned out it wasn't. So the defence forces all sorted that out.
Oh, okay, no, that's good. Yeah, it had me worried for a second, you know?
Yeah.
There has been a false alarm, and it's not at the mosque, it was at the countdown. But still, same thing, you know, it doesn't matter if it's at the mosque or somewhere else, you still get that thing of the feeling that I had on 15th of March. Just a lot of blood came to my head, and it gave me a big scare, you know, that I'm going to experience the same thing again. And it's those people that I know since I was a kid as well. And it's just not my friends, it's anyone. I don't want that to see that happen to anyone innocent.
You'll find it messy.
I'll just...
Aya's mother, Jana, has extended her stay away from 2 months to 4.
Oh, it needs vacuuming. Okay.
She is so busy. Got so many visits and TV interviews.
But she's finally due home.
When Jen will come, she will be shocked by what we did. In fact, we cleaned every corner of the house.
Back in Iraq, Jana is a celebrated calligrapher.
But instead of celebrity in the media, it's celebrity in the artworks, which is very respectable because it's related to religion somehow. And the religion there has a big value.
And you can see it everywhere, in mosques, inside the house, and everywhere, calligraphy. So it's part of our culture.
Already well known through her calligraphy, now everyone also knows about Hussein.
I visited heaps of places like schools, culture foundations, and people were welcoming me. Everywhere I go, they take photos with me, they recognize me. Oh, this is Jannah. Are you the mother of the martyr Hussein? Yeah, oh, okay. Shall we take selfie? Yeah, why not? It's okay.
Surrounded by her family, Jana slowly came to terms with what had happened.
It healed me. Yeah, it healed me. And I talked to my sisters, so I unload my fears, unload everything with them. And they were very supportive and advises me when I come back, I have to stand up again and start a new life. And I'm trying to do that because I and Hazem, and we have to live. We have to live normally. We have to.
Cooking time.
Husna's niece Farhana does what she can to fill the gap at home, as Farid adapts to losing the partner he worked with so closely.
Can you tie it for me? Everything we did, we complemented one another. In everything, teaching, leadership, looking after the community, listening to the community problems.
For years, Farid and Husna taught classes together, a task he still enjoys on his own.
Another high five. Ooh. Sunday class was for everyone, every community, whoever wants to come, any age. People asked Prophet that what about if our neighbors are non-Muslims? Prophet said, still it applies. When it comes to the neighborhood, faith, no faith doesn't matter. If they need our help, we should help. Allahumma arzuqna fa innaka khayr. I have been writing book on my wife. I spend average 3-4 hours every day. Then I take classes in the mosque. I do some social work. I have, homeopathy. I do some study to, get more knowledge. I am tired. It is true. But something in me, it says, make use the time. You never know. Tomorrow you might not get that chance.
Farid's determined to carry on their work and keep spreading the word.
The first advice is that respect your promises. Do not take your promise lightly. To young people, like they're getting married, or the children, we teach in the mosque. We have been giving them the message that they have to be good people, they have to be righteous, they have to be peaceful, they have to respect each other as human beings, and obviously also it starts also from home.
With these guys,
Since the 15th of March, Aya's attitude to life has changed.
In terms of my career life, has shifted in its perspective. I want to use my skills to give back to all the love, all the support that we had from the community. I want to be that person to contribute to society, to help us have a safer community, and the career path I'm thinking of is to go to the police.
Open hands, close hands. Well, if you open, you look less threatening. You'd be like, just back off, calm down.
With Hussein in the back of her mind, she's learning self-defence and changing the habits of a lifetime.
His fitness level was really good, and on the contrast, I was a couch potato and doing a 8-hour job sitting behind a computer. It's not something I would have thought about at all before 15th of March, no. Taking inspiration from my brother definitely is the little subconscious push. It's like, yep, you need to do this.
Aya experienced racism in her early days because of her Arabic heritage.
In school, it was very hard for me to say where I was from because there was a lot of bullying that came as a result of people knowing that you're Arab, and also at the time that I was in school, September 11 had happened as well. And that's when I just completely shut down, and like my identity, I tried, as a Muslim, I tried to hide it as much as possible.
As she grew up, things changed.
I said, no, yes, I am a Muslim, and if you have any problem with it, you just talk to me, have a chat with me. And I had the comedic approach to it as well. So like people would say, oh, the terrorist, my friends would say that, the terrorist in the group. I would be okay with it. But now, after the 15th of March, it's not okay. If you laugh at a racist remark, if you even have a small grin or smile or anything, is just fueling that racism.
Aya believes preconceptions have changed since the 15th of March.
It put a lot of exposure on Islam and what Islam is about, and the fact that Muslim people got killed this time is kind of a step. People, I think, generally took a step back, like, oh, so hang on a minute, it can happen to everyone. And hang on a minute, these people are Muslim. I thought they are the bad people.
I've noticed the public, they are quite aware of the Muslims now, especially the women. And for me personally, like whenever I go out, people are more friendly. People are more friendly, and people are more like saying that you are welcome here. Yeah.
When Naraini arrived in New Zealand 25 years ago, she was given some good advice.
I was told to learn how to drive. So that's what I think. Whenever I see women now, when they come, I say, learn how to drive. Because it's good that, to be independent. Yeah, it's good to be independent. Yeah. Because you will never know that when you need to be.
After the 15th of March, many of the women had no choice but to manage on their own.
There's a big set of traffic lights coming up ahead. I'd like you to turn right. So looking over your shoulder.
We cannot depend on men to do certain things, because this is what happened. Like lots of our men have passed away, and the simple thing like driving, it will give us the ability to go forward easily. You don't have to start, when the thing happens, you don't have to start learning how to drive because you can drive now.
Stuff.
Ahmed's at the physio for the first time.
That's looking pretty good, isn't it? I mean, cool. So you're just going to use these to take the majority of your weight?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're going to have just a little touch, starting on the heel.
Yeah.
Okay, and just a little bit of weight through there, and then use your arms to bring your other foot through.
He's finally had the go-ahead from the surgeon to weight bear on his wounded leg.
How does that feel, just putting a little bit of weight through there?
It is quite pain.
Yeah.
Even with movement, not just even pressing.
Okay.
So
with the swing as well?
Yeah, with the swing as well.
With the swing?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just do 2 lengths there.
Yeah.
Maybe just come to this point, and then you can spin around.
Yeah.
There's a start.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah, I feel like I was running for.
Yeah.
10K.
But Ahmed's celebratory mood is cut short by the news that the lead levels in his blood are increasing to dangerous levels.
I was finished with my surgeries, everything, so I started my physiotherapy, was recovering much better. But now, with lead poisoning, with my last surgery, for example, I had 3 surgeries, first one, and I was fine. Everything they did good. But with my last surgery, the 4th one, when they do the bone graft, they touch my nerve. So now all this is switched off. I can't feel nothing. And having this surgery scared me that if anything goes wrong, something could happen with my life. I might be disabled.
Back in Dunedin, Mustafa's feeling more like his old self.
Before I had heaps of motivation. I do now as well. It's just slowly picking it up and getting back to where it was.
He's training hard, but still mindful of his bullet wound.
My wound is pretty deep. It's healing up really well. The only thing that affects me is like just after I run and stuff, and other than that, I get no pain. And also my right leg, I had a DVT, the blood clot. That also hurts. Like I just get stiff calf after. But as long as I wear the compression socks, it's all good.
Super.
For now, he's focusing on the rehearsal for the physical abilities test. His first attempt is tomorrow.
How are you?
Yeah, good. What do you even want to become a cop for?
I got shot, man. There was a police beside me.
There was one, yeah.
Yeah, it was just supporting me, just saying like keep up and all that. And I want to be that guy, if something happen in the future with someone,
Yeah, no.
I want to be beside someone to support them.
Yeah.
Just like your job, bro. After people get a haircut, you put a smile on their face.
Try to, bro.
And it's the same with the police. When you help them, you put a smile on their face,
No, for sure, bro.
Good to see you, bro. Catch you next time.
Bro. See you next time, man.
It's compulsory for police applicants to do at least one rehearsal before they attempt the real thing.
Okay, get set. On your marks, get set, go.
Very important, yeah. So I'm going to give 100%. It means a lot to me, yeah. I want to do my best and get in the force. Time was 9 minutes, 29 seconds. Yeah, really surprised and happy about that. Yeah, no, everything's good. Everything worked out better than what I expected. It means I passed. So I was worrying for nothing.
Fareed is just back from the Netherlands, where he was speaking at a United Nations forum to combat religious intolerance. When he's not travelling, he's accepting as many invitations to speak as he can manage.
People who had chosen love instead of hate in 15th of March, first responders, they came together running because of the love. And as a result, they are our heroes. This is my message. Keep the religion aside. Let us come into a common ground. In this world, about 50% people, they do not believe in any God. to make the world peaceful, to make the world loving and harmonious. We need them too. And that common place is we are one family.
The first thing Jana did when she got back was visit Hussein's grave.
I missed him and I missed going there. It was nice, and especially day by day they are taking care of the cemetery and they already put the headstones. So when I saw Hussein's headstones, oh my God.
Amazing. As if he's talking to us.
Yeah.
It's her handwriting in calligraphical way. That was a good thing. Yeah, very expressive.
It means we are from God and going back to God. So he's back to God's hands. Hassouni, last night I saw you in the dream and I asked you, are you okay? Do you need anything? You said, I'm fine, Mama. I don't need anything. And all of us, we hugged you and you were hugging us and you were in a very, very good shape. All of us. And he was hugging us.
Cherish being in a very good place.
Noraini's son Sayad was a keen member of his school's futsal team.
He's a goalkeeper, yeah. And he's, you know, like when he played football also, every time when he saved the ball, of course we were so excited, but when he didn't, we said that it's okay, you know, you try very hard, yeah.
Her ongoing connection with the team is bittersweet.
I still feel quite emotional, yeah. A mixture of happy and sad, yeah.
The boys want to keep Sayad's memory alive as they slowly come to terms with what happened.
So this is one of the bibs he used to wear when he played. It also has like a medal from our futsal tournament, which he didn't get to go to.
Sayad's up in this one here, and then yeah, we're still adjusting to it. It's not something that we can easily get over, and I think we're all doing the best we can, but it's still hard, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we need the team FC Milne, to play for him.
Actually, I'm really proud of the boys. Yeah, you know, they really think Sayad so much. Yeah, I'm going to really honor Sayad's friendship with them. Yeah, even though Sayad's not here.
Mustafa is feeling pretty positive about his chances of progressing through the police college application process.
After my PAT, I had my phone conversation with the Police New Zealand. It went really good. We had a good chat.
But when he filled out the medical form online, one of the questions was particularly relevant.
Have you been exposed to any traumatic situations? Yeah. And of course, you can't lie.
And things changed, at least for now.
I received a letter saying that it's been declined, my medical clearance. And they told me to not give up and have my hopes high. Because they said in the police I'll be dealing with like traumatized people and traumatized situations, and they don't want me to be exposed to that too soon. They want me to give some time. I was gutted, you know. I mean, you can't argue it. So I just went along with it, and I said okay, you know. I don't take this as a failure, you know. I'm gonna keep my hopes up, and I'm gonna come back next year and reapply.
The women are having a morning out, practicing their golf swings.
Really having good time. I'm really glad that, you know, that we enjoy the day, yeah, and get our frustration gone, and that's really good.
Yeah, so I wouldn't quite call Mum a fashionista. She was more the edgy type, but this is one of her things. This was her logo, was the koru, and the House of Black was very much, this is her Gothic phase. And they were just pretty cool. We love them.
Uh-oh. When I hit the ball, all my anger gone. And it will come back again. And then I hit again until I have not much energy left. Life is not fair, but we knew because life goes up and down.
While he waits to find out if the lead levels in his blood are still increasing,
Yeah, that's my daughter, yeah.
Ahmed and his family are heading back to Ethiopia.
To be honest, I'm very happy because I haven't been back home the last time I've been there was 4 years ago. So it's been a long time. So it is awesome feeling to go back home. I think it's everyone's, it's not just me. It's a good feeling, you know, when you go back and see your family, friends, it's your own hometown.
At least I should not hurt you, you should not hurt me. If we can agree on this as a human family, then we'll be fine. Let us love one another. Love doesn't cost 1 cent. It makes your heart happier, my heart happier. It doesn't bring any loss for anyone. Simple. Let us practice this. Yeah.
I'm thinking about my son and the other 50 people, what they were doing if they're still alive.